You will never walk alone. ये हम आज Chiesa को बोलने वाले हैं because today Federico Chiesa has signed for Liverpool. Other than that, we have got Mamardashvili, if I am pronouncing the name right, who has joined in, but who will play next season. But in terms of incoming ज्यादा कुछ किया नहीं है लिवरपूल ने, लेकिन ट्रांसफर विंडो भी बाकी है और अमरत्य भाई हमारे साथ है अपने एंथुजियाज्म के साथ, more than the Liverpool transfer committee has shown. So yeah, अमरत्य भाई, how are you today? And क्या
Good, yeah,
expectations है
super excited.
आपके?
Super
अच्छा
excited,
चलो,
man. Absolutely
I would
super
like to tell
excited
our
to hear.
viewers, I would like to tell our viewers कि अमरत्य भाई का कल बहुत ज्यादा मन था एंड अनफॉर्चुनेटली आई हैड टू बी द विलेन, मैं कल नहीं कर पाया. बट हाँ, आज मैंने सोचा था कि कुछ भी हो जाए, आई विल डू दिस यूट्यूब लाइव. अमरत्य भाई, आपके फेवरेट टॉपिक की बात कर लेते हैं. फेडरिको किएजा इज नाउ अ लिवरपूल प्लेयर. What are your thoughts on it, and how do you see him progressing this season?
Thoughts. Uh, I think someone bumped Fabrizio Romano's tweet about no bid for Chiesa like two years ago. And whenever I see that tweet, मैं देखता हूँ just 70-80 million का player and we're buying him for 5 million right now. That is some smart business. I like a lot of people have gone ahead and termed this as a steal. This is not a steal. This is daylight robbery. You don't get that piece with 12.5 million. I can bet that. But
बट
the guy
एक चीज मैं
like
आपसे पूछूंगा, आई इंटरप्ट यू हियर, एक चीज मैं पूछूंगा. इंजरी रिकॉर्ड की बहुत बात हो रही है कि ऐसा कि अमरत्य भाई,
yes,
व्हाट आर योर
yes.
थॉट्स ऑन दैट?
He has played more games than Jota, I believe, last season. But again, people will come up with a contradictory argument about it as well that he has scored lesser goals. So basically, I will like to tell you that he played under Max Allegri. So the system brings a lot to a player. When he was playing under Roberto Mancini, he was unstoppable. He was probably possessed as well. So that is what an attacking coach, someone who gives you that freedom of having that free role and venturing into attacking purposes gives. So Arne Slot also, if you see, is someone who likes to attack. Again, that is a very pragmatic attacking approach to his game. But then again, he's all attack, attack, attack. And like although we have kept 2 clean sheets in the first 2 games, I believe that he still would have liked to get a third goal in all of those 2 games. So I think it's a very good fit, especially when you're looking into whatever how the teams have added players. All the other teams have added players to their catalog. I think we needed sort of a signing who wants to play for Liverpool.
Right. I agree with you on this. Anthony Gordon was also being linked a lot. Would you have preferred him over Chiesa?
I would have preferred no one over Chiesa. I swear upon God, I swear upon my family, I swear upon everything that I own on the surface of earth. I am a Italy supporter. This was a dream signing. So, so this is like one of those thousand attempts where I prayed to God, and it has come true. Reminds me of this song from Love Ajkal that tells you, "Mana manga jo mera hai, jata kya tera hai, Rabba kaun si tujhse jannat मांग ली." That has come true.
So yeah, I think if I quote another Imtiaz Ali reference from Laila Majnu, I would say कि Chiesa would have been like कि जा तू ही ढूंढ मुझे and Liverpool ने finally ढूंढ लिया, है ना?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I, yeah. So I have to agree with you on this because यार Chiesa वैसे signing तो exciting है. मतलब मैं ना honestly ज़्यादा excite हो जाता because I didn't want to like jinx it, but I think it's very exciting यार. मतलब क्या player है, and for the price that we have got, effectively that's Dominic Solanke's जितना हमें sell-on clause में था.
Absolutely. जितना
So
मिला है
I
हमको.
think it's very good.
Absolutely.
हाँ, I think. But
Absolutely. And
मेरा बस हाँ बताओ.
and the best part, he has understood what his role is. So he has
Yeah.
understood that yes, he will be mostly coming on when Salah is tired. He will be coming on when there are cup games, and he's ready for that. So that positive approach and that positive attitude that a player brings in on the table, that is absolutely appreciated. And even if you see, it's not only the player but also the family. मतलब आपने अगर देखा होगा एनरिको किएसा ने बोला है कि if Liverpool comes coming calling, you should definitely go.
Yeah. I remember him also saying that Hughes called him, Richard Hughes called him and said, "Do you want to come to Liverpool?" और Zubimendi के बाद मुझे तो PTSD हो रहा था ना इस क्वेश्चन को देख के, because
You can have your
of course that
you
saga
can
was
have
something,
your
बताओ बताओ.
you can have your mountains. We will keep our
Yes,
fast
he can.
receiving.
Yeah, he can shag as many mountains as he wants. Honestly, after this, seriously, यार मतलब एक mountains के ऊपर है तो वैसे I do understand loyalty and all, but Real Sociedad, like who wants to be loyal to Real Sociedad? It's like being happy with your ex who मतलब वाली बात है मतलब ना अगर तुम अच्छा कर सकते हो जिंदगी में तो करो ना. And he is 25,
Absolutely,
26. So it's very weird. People
absolutely,
were actually saying Steven Gerrard, for example. Steven Gerrard was a UCL winner. Steven Gerrard had won the
absolutely.
treble domestic wala, and the thing is, more than that, people also have to realize that Steven Gerrard was still in Liverpool FC. He wasn't कि Blackburn में खेल रहा है. At the end of the
Absolutely.
day, you cannot do that. So वही है. But whatever it is, now people, do you think another signing comes in before the window closes? I am optimistic एक आएगा, but do you think?
I think we might go for a left back. Probably, I feel like that we can just go since we have made a few smart moves. I think we'll go for Nuri.
Oh,
I think that
interesting.
it is yes.
Yeah, even
I
I
think
have that
that we can.
feeling. I am just surprised कि हमने आजकल में कोई नया प्लेयर दिन कैसे नहीं हुआ. I'm very surprised about it.
But then again, you were surprised when why no one was getting linked to Federico Chiesa as well.
Yeah. वैसे I'm very surprised why people did not pursue Chiesa at that price tag. What are your thoughts on that?
I think most of the thoughts at this point of time that people are more science driven today, and because I mean you would even agree because you are a student of medicine as well. So
Yeah,
an ECL injury, it is a big injury, and trajectories change for players in after ACL injuries. But God forbid, whatever we have seen as of now for the players who have had ACL injuries in our club as well, uh, they have risen to those standards. They have gone
yeah,
ahead and they have re-achieved those standards. So that
yeah.
actually sets the benchmark that yes, we are there as a team, and we have that rehabilitation facility where we can make the best out of these players also.
Even Darwin Nunez in his early career, Van Dijk, they've had ACL injuries. I think, if I'm not wrong, Joe Gomez को भी बहुत long term injuries हो चुकी है. And I
Yes, yes,
think
yes.
उसके बाद,
Even
you think?
Alan Shearer had an
Yeah,
ACL injury. He
exactly.
came
Yeah.
back and then he broke the goal scoring record, 31 goals.
Right, exactly. And I think these are the examples which tell us that, at the end of the day, it's about how the player plays, उनकी motivation क्या है. Also, एक और डिफेंडर है, डिफेंडर सॉरी, गोलकीपर है, डिफेंडर मैं
Goalkeeper.
चाहता हूँ आए. हाँ, गोलकीपर है. Mamardashvili has come. Now,
Yes, 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 yes.
what do you think about the Mamardashvili coming in? पालते भाई पहले आपसे पूछ लेते हैं, उसके बाद मैं अमरते भाई से पूछूंगा कैसे क्या थॉट्स है आपके Mamardashvili पे.
बहुत ही मतलब basic thoughts are because I haven't watched him that much to actually make a statement. But I think he's not much of a sweeper keeper. He's more of a proper shot stopper. Now, if you say ki, like, see his age is really young, so I feel that with time he can develop the sweeper keeper ability because even Kelleher is not a proper sweeper keeper, but he's just somebody who's developed in more of the role. And if you have a proper shot stopper, it's much more better for you. It's much more easier for you in the game. So I feel it's a mixed thing, but of course I wouldn't want Allison to hang his gloves or leave Liverpool the next 2 years. So for the next 2 years, he can develop in the certain way that he can be much more useful and a proper number one in the later time.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Though I would be honest with you, I think we have too many quality goalkeepers at this point of time. I wish we had this thing in defensive midfield for that matter. Now,
Or
another
defense,
interesting thing. Huh?
or defense for the matter. It's only
Yeah,
4 or 5.
exactly. Amartya bhai, give me your initial thoughts on Mamardashvili and what do you think about Tyler Morton staying?
I'll just say about Tyler Morton. I think there is something that Slot might have seen in him because Slot, I think, has been very ruthless in terms of
Yeah,
getting, handing out loans and transfers for all the, kids that we had in our academy squad. I think only the two players who probably survived are Tyler Morton and Connor Bradley. Again, Connor Bradley is still one of the prospects that are coming up in the pipeline who could, play in that role of Trent. But Tyler Morton surviving I would say that he has survived the ice age, and now that he has survived it, I think that he has something in him that makes him stand out in Slot's eyes. So I think he'll be used a few times in the upcoming seasons. And
interesting point.
for Mamardashvili, I'll just say I think Mamardashvili and Allison are two very separate profiles. However, what makes them absolutely, you know, absolutely on top of their game is their shot stopping. They are
Yeah,
ridiculously amazing when it comes to reactions as well, especially reading of the game. Like I'll not go in terms of playing from the back because Allison is probably second to none.
but do you think, Parthe bhai, I'll come to you here. Do you think that Mohammad Shuli, चलो suppose I'm supposing that Kelleher goes in, चाहे वो अगले coming January transfer window or next summer window, ठीक है? Now, do you think अगर हम Allison को directly competition दे Mohammad Shuli से, do you think it makes a lot of sense because Allison maybe 3 साल बचे अभी contract में, he is मतलब keepers के हिसाब से he is young, like keepers play till 37. Do you think it makes a lot of sense buying him in a transfer window where FSG work under a certain budget, where they could have they can actually they should be going after a defensive midfielder, a center half, a left back, maybe another winger if Chiesa hadn't come in. Like, what do you think?
Personally, Anukush bhai, see, FSG have a trend that they are the net spend merchants. They'll always spend in a particular net spend ratio and they won't spend more than that. So even if you consider in that, I'd say 50 million plus net spend is good enough for FSG. And that's still a number which can be attainable even after Mamadashvili, even after Federico Chiesa, even after one centre back or a CDM. So I feel in your perspective where you're FSG and you don't want to spend more, Mamardashvili is a good transfer because honestly in the market for keepers you will never find the best keeper you want. I'd say we got absolutely very lucky with Allison that he stuck out. Because if you
Yeah,
see Courtois in his first year was not that great. Chelsea still struggling. Arsenal, God help them. City, it's going on, but it's not because of the goalkeeper, it's because of the other abilities there. So I'd say that we got really, really lucky here.
makes sense. Makes
Agree
sense.
that.
I agree. अमलते भाई आपसे बात करूंगा लेनी यूरो की. Now he was a player who was linked, and we all know कि United bought him, and we were thinking that he might go to Real Madrid. A centre half hasn't really come in. Joe Gomez के future को लेके doubt है. What do you think? Should a centre half be is a centre half very important, or do you think the likes of Konate, Van Dijk, क्या बोले Chiesa बोलने वाला हूँ, Joe Gomez, and of course क्या नाम है Kuansha can be trusted?
See, I think it is more about the profile and less about the position. I mean, a center back who is left footed can play out of the back is someone that we needed the most as a profile. But somehow or the other, that happens. The right
Like,
profile has to be there on the cards. So how we go into the transfer window, that if it absolutely fits the blocks of the jigsaw, we will definitely go for the player. So that is what I feel personally. And as far as Lenny Yoro is concerned, I think that he's probably injured. And good player, obviously, good signing for Man United. But then again, availability is the best ability.
ठीक है. Okay, makes sense. I think it makes a lot of sense. Now United have gotten some good players. Chelsea तो हमेशा strengthen करती है. पता नहीं क्या. I don't even understand उनकी विंडो अच्छी रहती है बुरी रहती है. बस players खरीदते रहती है हर 3-4 दिन बाद. Arsenal of course have gotten in Merino. I don't know how Merino didn't want to shag the mountains. They other picks have also done well. Now पार्थे भाई अभी मैंने जुबिमेंडी की बात की थी अमरते भाई से. Do you really think that there is no alternative to Zubimendi in the market? Don't you think players like Ederson or a Varela or there are other players who can actually, to play a similar role?
But yeah, the only question here comes with the same thing what happened with Zubendi as well isn't that are there players available, but are the players willing to come? Because of the three names you have mentioned, only one of them probably may come, and that is only Edison. And also one more thing is when we are talking about Zubimendi, it's really important to understand that Zubimendi is not really a proper destructor number six. That's what Ugarte is, or that's what Fabinho was. Zubimendi is much more of a phase player. He will give you the phases, he will connect the passes, he will interlink the passes. Because शायद वो निकल गए.
Yeah, yeah, please
because
continue.
because a player like for example Zubimendi, right, he's much more of a profile of the likes of Busquets or similar profile to Thiago where he can connect the passes, connect the balls, and there are phases involved in the game which is called phase 1, phase 2, and he can be the one in the middle to connect both the phases. Because currently under slot ball what's happening is कि दो लोग pivot में जा रहे हैं, एक बंदा सामने खेल रहा है, that's either Elliot or that's Soboslai. So again, वही बात होती है कि if you let's say have a guy like Barella here, 28 years of age, Barella would be the dream signing for Liverpool. If Barella comes in, I could see us taking on any team in the world. He's
Yeah,
that good of a player. But
I
then
Rahul.
again, if you have the likes of Ederson or Kuperminers, I don't think वो same impact आएगा. But I would say भैया कि what we need right now is a centre back. बिकॉज मिडफील्ड में जैसे तैसे इधर उधर करके अपने पास प्लेयर्स हैं. मतलब इतना आई कैन सी कि आई कैन टेल यू दैट टाइलर मॉर्टन इज एटलीस्ट वर्दी टू एटलीस्ट प्ले इन दैट पोजीशन. Yeah, I
Yeah, yeah,
won't say he's the best player on the pitch. I would have of course preferred Bajcetic as well, but Morton is good enough. But centre backs में our pairing is Van Dijk, Konate, Kwanzaa, Gomez. I can assuredly tell you that Kwanzaa and Konate will miss 10 plus games per season. So where does that leave you? And we can all say that Kwanzaa, no matter how good he is, he isn't, that player you can just matlab, trust. I would say the same for Larry Euro as well. I'm happy that we didn't go for him. Because we have this thing कि जो भी player अच्छा लगता है उसके पीछे we go on a train कि भाई यही चाहिए. But we need a centre back. And honestly, profile wise, as Amartya bhai said, one of my most favorite players and most hyped was he would know we are on the same group, one of the groups, was Sepp Vandenberg. Because just the profile of the guy.
yeah.
And fair enough, he had a good season in the Bundesliga as well. So all
Yeah.
in all, I feel that we need a centre back more than we need a CDM. Of course, if both comes or a player who can play both the roles, like one I really favor is Ismail Benakar. He's somebody who can play both the roles. If someone of that profile, of that sort comes in, I would feel that would matlab, help the team right now.
ये तो आप मुझे पालते भाई वो होता है ना बॉयज ग्रुप चैट में फोमो देते हो ना, दो बॉयज बता रहे कि हम लोग एक ग्रुप पे है ये वो आप मुझे फोमो दे रहे हो. नहीं नहीं, बट आई गेट द पॉइंट यार. मतलब ऑनेस्टली इवन आई फील दैट सुब्लीमेंटली हैड इट इन हिम इन टर्म्स ऑफ हिज प्रोफाइल एंड अदर साइनिंग्स थोड़ा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है विद हाउ
सॉरी
स्लॉट.
इंटरनेट वंस हम लोग का जो ग्रुप है ना बंगालियों का, उसमें फुटबॉल के अलावा बहुत बहुत बातें होती है. उसमें कभी कभी हफ्ते में एक बार फुटबॉल लेके ही बातें होती है.
मैं ट्रांसलेट करके सीख लूंगा बंगाली. आप क्या बात कर रहे हैं? माय co-founder is a Bengali himself. I think I can learn a bit of that. But yeah, मतलब भाई एक और बात हुई है अभी आजकल ऑफ एंथनी गॉर्डन की हमने बात की. Now there were other players also. Bakayoko एक player था who is मतलब जैसे who is a left-footed forward. Do you think a left-footed forward also should have come in this window? Do you think that if Diaz would have gone something along those lines?
I mean, see, I really feel like we didn't need someone in the place of Diaz. I think I was fine with Diaz and however he was playing. I think strengthening the left hand side of Liverpool would have been a luxury, especially in the left wing position. Because we already had Cody Gakpo who prefers to play down the left. We already had Diaz who is a dedicated left winger.
Yeah,
And then again, we brought in another forward who can play on the right and on the left, but he prefers to play on
right.
the whole
आपकी आवाज
idea of it.
हाँ, हाँ, ठीक.
The whole idea of it. But a dedicated left winger would have been luxury. Just said again, Johan Bakayoko, I probably not seen him much, but then again, आप बोल रहे तो अच्छा player ही होगा.
एक और चीज में अमन भाई वाला क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछूंगा, देन आई मूव टू पार्थ भाई हियर. बचेटिच की बात की हम लोगों ने, है ना? नाउ आई वाज
Yes, yes.
एक्सपेक्टिंग बचेटिच वुड आइदर बी अ स्टार्टिंग डिफेंसिव मिडफील्डर और एटलीस्ट बी इन द रिजर्व्स. चलो ठीक है, जो मेन डिफेंसिव मिडफील्डर हम खरीदते उसके साथ सप्लीमेंट्री प्लेयर होता कि ना कुछ कॉम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए, चाहे कुछ मैचेस लीग कप्स खेल लेता, बाद में चैंपियंस लीग में खेल लेता. दैट्स व्हाट आई वाज एक्सपेक्टिंग. आर यू सरप्राइज्ड बाय इट एंड डू यू थिंक इट्स द राइट डिसीजन?
I mean, any loan move is good for the player in the sense that it gives you the. So if you're starting at Salzburg, especially with someone like Pep Linders, so he knows Bajcetic in and out. So he will make him feel comfortable in the team, in a new environment, and I think that will help Bajcetic to grow more. But in the current Liverpool setup, if I'm talking about it, I think the sort of midfields that other teams have, especially if you see Newcastle, where you have when you're coming across Joelinton, he's like 6 foot 3 or 4, and he's got that physique, if he's up against me, I would be scared.
Makes sense. I understand that point. But मुझे पता ये लगा था कि Bajcetic would be like the next breakout star, but I think the injury has been very hard on him. Uh,
Absolutely.
पालते भाई एक और प्लेयर की बात करते हैं, बॉबी क्लार्क. नाउ बॉबी क्लार्क वाज वेरी मच ऑफ अ क्लब फेवरेट, काफी खिलाया गया लास्ट सीजन, एंड इट लुक्ड लाइक दिस कुड बी हिज ब्रेक थ्रू सीजन. आई वाज एक्सपेक्टिंग वर्स्ट केस में लोन कर देंगे, बट बेच ही दिया उसे. व्हाट आर योर थॉट्स ऑन इट एंड do you think someone like him should have been retained considering हम कोई midfielder नहीं खरीद पाया?
Anukash bhai, honestly, Bobby Clark was a much more of a favorite of mine than Tyler Morton. I followed Morton more, but Clark was my favorite because a player who's a CDM has the ability of a good pace. That's really really rare. So अगर आप देखोगे ना उस वाइज तो I feel कि Clark could have been the guy, but then again honestly for Liverpool fans we even thought Lazar Markovic was the next Messi. So मैं उसमें जाऊंगा ही नहीं. I of course see slot thinks of something. There's something which is better. जो उसको पता है मेरे को नहीं पता. अभी तक मैं उतना qualified नहीं हूँ. But I would have still preferred Clark to be here. But then again, there's also one more thing कि भैया how many more loans? We are not a club like Chelsea, right? कि we just constantly go send people on loan. We either send them on loan for a few years. अगर नहीं होता we sell them. And Clark probably went through the time key. It was for him. Probably also, see, there are some players who are from the city, from the town. They have the feeling that we will play for Liverpool. And there are some who are rather move forward. If I don't get a chance, I'll just play somewhere where I may
Yeah.
have a chance. And he got a club like Salzburg, right? जो लोग used to football खेलते हैं, they win trophies in their own league. It's a good competitive league. It's a good country. So I think it was a win-win situation for uh, Clark actually. If
I
this was
think
someone like, let's say,
I think sorry to interrupt you here, but I think Salzburg is very much of a step ladder, like कहते हैं ना step, एक stepping stone type का है काफी players के लिए,
प्लस
because
उसको एक चीज भी है कि अगर वो उसमें अच्छा खेलेगा he'll win trophies, he'll play in champions, he'll get the experience, he can also easily play for life से. वो एक direct route है. But also one more thing is कि अगर अच्छा खेला, अगर प्रोफाइल मैच किया, someday or the other he is very unlikely, but we may get him back. But then again वो बात की बात है. But for now, as a genuine fan, I just wish him the best of luck. And I hope, like, I thought, I wish he would have stayed.
guys, I am kind of happy कि कल जो बात हो रही थी कि Bajcetic might go to Barcelona or no, I am very happy that did not happen, because I think we would have lost him
Same.
eventually, because Spanish midfielder है बार्सिलोना. अगले सीजन तक थोड़ा पैसा आई जाता उनके पास. आई थिंक वहां की कल्चर में रह के ना उसको भी माउंटेन से पैदा हो जाता, तो आई थिंक इट मेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ सेंस कि ऐसा नहीं हुआ. अमरदीप भाई, कैन आपकी स्क्रीन फ्रीज हो गई, कैन यू हियर मी?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, but your screen आपकी screen थोड़ी सी freeze हो गई. Anyway, तो
Strategy.
हाँ, yeah, it's perfect now. तो अदर देन दैट लेफ्ट बैक की आपने बात की, एक नूरी की बात हुई है, एक प्लेयर है फुलहम का, रॉबिन्स, आई डोंट रिमेंबर, मुझे नाम याद नहीं आ रहा, आप लोगों को बताऊंगा. लेफ्ट बैक है फुलहम का, आई थिंक रॉबिन्सन है शायद उसका
Anthony
नाम, मैं उस
Robinson.
नाम.
Anthony
हाँ,
Robinson. Yes.
and then Robinson नाम. Now Robertson has played well actually. Simikas भी ठीक है, decent player है. There were rumors that he might go out on loan. Do you think they are good enough for the season, or do you think the left back is a priority above a centre half or a defensive midfielder?
I think left back. I think more than anything else, left back is a priority at this point of time because with the kind of fixtures that we have and the kind of deputies that we have at this point of time, um, I saw the first two games and I thought that probably he is catching up for Robo, but uh, then again, you
Right.
so he's
हाँ,
sticking to the first team player that we have at this point of time. But Anthony Robinson would have also been a absolutely superb signing. Super.
makes sense. I just hope something happens in the transfer window. मुझे लगता है कि प्लेयर आएगा. अमरते भाई also thinks there is a chance, है ना, if I'm not wrong. पार्थे भाई, आपको भी लगता है कोई प्लेयर आएगा before the window ends? So, although it's very late, the clock is ticking as we speak. Do you think?
I honestly want a player to come, but I don't think I want a centre back to come. Somebody who's in the mix who can play all the places. Someone like actually of the similar profile to Jared Braithwaite. Because what's better than a genuine left back is a centre back who can play as a left back. Someone like Mickey Van de Ven, someone like Guardiol, a player of that similar who's like very fixated on the defense side of the game. क्योंकि offensively we have players to create and like सब कुछ के लिए.
Someone like a
So I would
Calafiori.
feel a huh?
Calafiori, I think he's saying.
Yeah, similarly, I would feel a player
Calafiori.
like that would do really good. So I feel I hope a centre back comes. Then again, I don't know Liverpool will because we are not known to do deadline day transfers. अगर
और वो
की
भी
अच्छी बात
expensive
है.
ones.
एग्जैक्टली अगर की अच्छी बात है, नहीं की है तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं.
Makes sense. वैसे प्लेयर्स की बात कर ही रहे हैं हम लोग, तो काफी आउटगोइंग्स पे बेन डोक इज अनदर वन गाइस. हमारे भाई बेन डोक, आई वाज एक्सपेक्टिंग कि शायद एटलीस्ट ऐसा बैकअप तो रहेगा. Do you think he might have played the league games a bit? Do you think it's a bit premature to say, kind of put him on loan?
Um, Honestly, like tell you that he wants productivity on his wings. He wants raw pace on his wings. He doesn't really want that, dribbler. कि ठीक है मैं आऊँ I cut inside and dribble two players and then try to play a pass because Elliot does the same thing. And then again, if you see that if he had to deputize someone there, he could have easily deputized Elliot. But he has told Elliot that I want you to play in the midfield and as a number 10 because he doesn't have that pace. Likewise, I think Ben Doak has all the dribbles and everything trickery, but he doesn't have that, burst of pace that can actually leave defenders on their knees. So that is what we needed, and probably that is why you have gone in for Chiesa. So for slot, I believe that the wings are absolutely of utmost importance. So that is why he probably never ventured out into any sort of Luis Diaz as well. So in my opinion, I think like I have never seen this ruthlessness because I was never really tactically adept to understand what Klopp thought when he wanted to deputize Elliot or even Bendok for that case. But then this is a very interesting thought process, and I'm liking it that he is this ruthless.
ठीक है. एक ना मैं मानस भाई की वो दिख रहा था उस दिन, क्या बोलते हैं वीडियो, तो उन्होंने बोला कि वी हैवंट वेरी बैड क्लॉक, बैड क्या कह रहा हूँ, आर्ने स्लॉट, एंड आई एग्री विद इट. आई डोंट थिंक वी हैव रियली बैड हिम. आई थिंक एक बार बात उन्होंने कही थी कि हिज स्टाइल ऑफ प्ले जो है, जो style. Slot it's more practical, less emotional. So
Very
he might
pragmatic.
not. Yeah. What do you make of it, Parthe? Bhai? Do you think slot ke time pe things will be very different in terms of results? Because I think I do agree with what Manas Bhai said. YouTube.
देखिए एक चीज है कि other than the play style, there are some other changes as well. One of them being कि how you train. Klopp का entire system was very मतलब देखिए why are we stressing on squad depth? Because we know हमारा injuries कितनी होती है. City will have a far lesser squad depth and will still be favored because उनकी injuries कम होती है. If Slot plays in a similar way where his players are injured less, I don't think the squad depth will be much of an issue. And probably he knows how it works, right? Because heavy metal football में इंजरी ज़्यादा होती है, इसमें इंजरीज कम होती है in comparison. Now एक और चीज़ है कि the way Slot plays, it is मतलब see I saw prime Klopp. I haven't seen other great managers of Liverpool or other great managers in world football, but I have seen prime Klopp football, which is attack. But still, there's one difference which any FIFA player would say, and that is back passing. This style of football does not even have one single back pass. I've seen an instance where, if you remember, Van Dijk had two players in front of him, and there was Trent on the right side. What usually Van Dijk does in situations like this is he takes the ball back to Alisson, and Alisson passes back. He passed the ball to Mohamed Salah, and that was a regular pass. It wasn't a long pass as well. So this is completely forward football. And there was also an interview which came out that Slot was he banned back passes in the training ground. So his football style is much more
Oh,
direct. Now,
interesting.
now the first half and second half theory that is very practical. It's the oldest trick in the book. अपने enemy को थका दो फिर अपना attack शुरू करो. But in European football, things are very different. I feel that Manu is just a taste of what Slot is yet to feel in English football, in world football. And the draws against Madrid, Milan don't make it easy, but it is interesting. It's fun.
अरे वो कौन सी टीम्स मिली है? कैन यू गाइस टेल? मैंने देख नहीं
मैं
पाया actually.
बता रहा एक है मद्रिद मिली है, एक लाइप्जिग मिली
अरे
है.
By
क्या लाइप्जिग मिली है
Leverkusen
और
is there.
हाँ
Girona
हाँ
is
ये
there, I believe.
मैं बता रहा ये
Girona is
लिवरपूल
there.
मद्रिद होम लेवरक्यूजन अवे सॉरी लाइप्जिग अवे लेवरक्यूजन होम मिलान अवे लिल होम पीएसवी अवे बोलोनिया होम जिरोना अवे
okay, not the toughest but yeah, Real or of course, right?
सेकंड
Yeah.
टफेस्ट
Is it PSV? Is it PSV or
PSV,
PSG?
yeah, PSV.
पीएसवी आइंडोवन.
Eindhoven. Okay.
Interesting actually. I think Real say guys finally Liverpool versus Real Madrid. Even मैंने
बट
रियाल का नाम लिया. माय co-founders है रोनाल्डो टर्न्ड अप फॉर द यूसीएल ड्रॉज. अरे सही में यार वही ऑनेस्टली यार रियल मैड्रिड से क्या है इस बार गाइस जीतेंगे ना. ये ऑल लिवरपूल फैंस है. आई वांट यू ऑल टू बी बायस्ड. जीतेंगे ना इस बार रियल मैड्रिड से. सच बताओ मुझे दिल से क्या लग रहा है.
भाई इस बार स्लॉट बॉल मुझे
आई
भरोसा है.
See,
प्लीज टेक
I
योर
have
मनी.
honestly speaking, I have no expectations from the
या
Champions League campaign. जितना दूर जाते हैं, that is absolutely fine. My expectations are from the cup games, especially the FA Cup and the League Cup. If we can nick one of them, it is a successful first season for Arne Slot.
देखो मेरे लिए पता है क्या है.
बट
देखो
यहाँ
मैं
पे पता
ऑनेस्टली
है यहाँ
बताऊंगा.
पे एक बहुत ही मजे की बात है अनुकर्ष भाई
हाँ
आदित्य भाई कि यहाँ पे सिर्फ मिलान और लिल आर द ओनली टू टीम्स आई गेस जो नहीं अपना बहुत ही अच्छा है कि हमारे जितने भी टीम्स हैं ना अगेंस्ट में सारे टॉप 3 में है. उससे कम कोई टीम ही नहीं है. जिरोना लीग में टॉप 3 या टॉप 2 में थे. बोलोनिया टॉप 3 में थे. मिलान टॉप 3 या टॉप 4 में. तो हमारा कंपटीशन इतना हाई है, कोई इजी टीम मिली ही नहीं.
अरे
और
गाइस मैं बोलूं सब
मैन
छोड़ो.
सिटी को मैन सिटी को एसके ग्रुटमाच स्पार्ता प्राहा भाई कहाँ से टीम मिल गई.
अरे मैं बता दूं. देखो मेरे लिए तो पता है सक्सेस क्या है. मेरी सक्सेस ये है हम मैड्रिड को गंदा हराए होम पे 3-0 जीतो. उसके बाद कुछ करे स्लॉट साल भर कुछ करे. आई डोंट गिव अ फक ऑनेस्टली. आई रियली वांट मैड्रिड से जीतो बिकॉज़ बहुत बार हार गए हैं.
हो गया
अच्छा,
सब ठीक.
so he's saying, what do you guys think of the new UCL model? Players are staring at a more injury-prone calendar. Huh? Guys, even I feel that at this point of time, the number of matches have increased. दो तो minimum हुई है जो group stage में होगी. उसके अलावा बाद में भी जो क्लब्स आई थिंक 9 से 24 तक फिनिश करेंगे, they might
They will
also
have
have
an
to play
extra game.
yeah, so पार्थ भाई आपको ये लगता है,
They
what are
have
your
two
thoughts on
extra
it?
games. Two extra
हाँ,
games.
yeah, what are your thoughts on
As a perspective, as a point of view from a fan, it is much more entertaining.
it?
Players point of view say not that entertaining. It's very
हाँ,
much on the body, but then again, inflation भी बहुत बड़ा है, सैलरीज भी बहुत इंक्रीज हुई है. मैं
yeah.
अभी जितना मैं वर्क फोर्स के पास जा रहा, वो चीज समझ में आ रही है. काम ज्यादा हो गया है, फैसिलिटीज ज्यादा मिल रही है, आपको प्राइवेट
Yeah.
जेट मिल रहा है, तो थोड़ा खेलना पड़ेगा. बट
Yeah.
इन जनरल फॉर सी अंडर क्लॉप आई वुड हैव बीन रियली वरीड बिकॉज वो अगेन द सेम थिंग कि इंजरी ज्यादा होती
क्लॉप
थी,
तो
उसके ऊपर
खा जाता,
इतना बड़ा
क्लॉप तो खा जाता, पता है यूसीएल वालों का. आई थिंक दैट वाज द
वो
रीजन. ही वाज
धरने
लाइक
में
आई
उतरता से नो टू यूसीएल. बट आई फील कि या इट इज लिटिल बिट ट्रबलिंग. शायद यहीं पे अगर 8 की जगह पे 6 रहता ये फर्स्ट फ्यू गेम्स तो और बेटर होता. बट देन अगेन लेट्स सी, इस पे बहुत डिपेंड करेगा कि स्क्वाड मैनेजमेंट कैसी है. अगर आज चेल्सी यूसीएल खेल रही होती तो शायद उनके लिए ये बेस्ट होता. इतने प्लेयर्स है, हर मैच के लिए नई टीम बन जाती. बट
ये
उसके अलावा
इसकी इसका स्निपेट निकाल के आ जाती, वो अटैक करेंगे. आई थिंक दैट वी शुड डू
नहीं भाई, उनके
दैट.
पास 8 गोलकीपर है. हमारे पास 8 मिडफील्डर्स नहीं है, 8 डिफेंडर्स नहीं,
Yeah,
हमारे पास 8 गोलकीपर्स है.
I agree. कोई पूछ रहा है, आर यू गाइस लिवरपूल फैंस? Yes, hero Brin. Yeah, yes, we are Liverpool fans. And if you are looking for a single one, I think Parthe Bhai is the one for you. But देखो, that smile tells you. But yeah, that smile से मुझे याद है अमरते भाई, क्या what are the expectations of this season? मतलब इन टर्म्स ऑफ
ये
रैंकिंग्स, मतलब अगर प्रीमियर लीग में बोलो, जैसे आपने ओवरऑल बताई, बट आपको प्रीमियर लीग में क्या फिनिश है जो आपको लगेगा कि आप ठीक है, मतलब इट्स अ गुड एनफ फिनिश फॉर
top four. I believe that if we get top four, I'll be really very happy.
you?
And in terms of trophies, मैंने तो आपको बोला ही.
सही है. Makes sense. Even I have that, but I just hope we can put the, कहीं से rabbit out of the hat, leave title के लिए करे. But you never know. With under new manager, it's like
See,
all new
if
signings.
there is a rabbit, if there is a rabbit out of the hat that could happen is
हाँ,
in the Champions League, because
yeah,
Champions League is that one tournament that Liverpool really turn up in,
yeah,
like
yeah.
against all odds.
भाई अगर जीत गए ना वैसे पास में भाई, स्लॉट के अंडर रियल मैड्रिड से क्लब लोग सीधा एकदम ऐसे दीवाने हो जाएंगे ना स्लॉट के, जस्ट विद दैट वन विन. बट
चीज है
बिकॉज आई थिंक
अमित
दैट हैज
भाई.
बीन समथिंग. नाउ लगता है
अंकुश
आपको
भाई,
फर्स्ट फिनिश करेंगे.
मेरा एक ये स्टेटमेंट शायद थोड़ा वो होगा, बट आई फील कि अंडर स्लॉट इट विल बी ईदर फिनिश्ड गेम्स और इट विल
हाँ,
बी बैड गेम्स. जैसे
हाँ
क्लॉप में था ना कि एक हाफ टाइम में जाके 3 ओवरटेक करेंगे, वैसा वाला सीन नहीं होगा. सो
भाई.
अकॉर्डिंग टू मी स्लॉट वोंट इवन लेट दैट टाइम कम. ईदर ही फिनिश ऑफ द गेम और मतलब ही विल डू समथिंग. बट मतलब वो एक था ना एलिमेंट सरप्राइज की भाई कि नेक्स्ट हाफ में क्या होगा, वैसा वाला सीन नहीं रहेगा अंडर स्लॉट एटलीस्ट आई फील.
Makes sense. But yeah, guys, I really hope that the Arne Slot era does as well. लास्ट में जाते जाते मैं चाहूंगा अमर से भाई अपनी एक बार फिर से हैप्पीनेस एक्सप्रेस करो किएजा पे, बिकॉज आई कांट डिनाई यू दैट अपॉर्चुनिटी. एक बार व्हाट डू यू थिंक कि इस सीजन किएजा कितने गोल्स मारेगा, एंड व्हाट आर द फाइनल थॉट्स ऑन?
10 goals minimum. I think 10 goals. It's a success for Chiesa.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Even I am very excited about Chiesa, not because he's the only signing we have, but because Chiesa Forza is with us today. So yeah, Parthe bhai, before we
अगर
wrap
अगर
this up,
आपने अगर आपने अगर भाई अगर आपने उसकी इंट्रोडक्टरी वीडियो देखी होगी ना, so
uh,
it feels like it is actually a fanboy who has signed for us and
yeah,
really wanted to play for us. There is a very
absolutely,
heartwarming video that they have recorded.
absolutely,
I mean, nothing
absolutely.
over the top graphics or anything, but it's a very warm video.
I they liked it, I think. Parthe bhai and Amartya bhai, before we go, and I'll answer this question पहले अपने सबसे पहले कि अगर जाते जाते if I had to see one Liverpool signing before the window ends, I think for me it would be Jared Brathwaite. But that is it. I know very unlikely, but just a dream signing for me before the window ends. आप लोग भी कौन सी?
I think dream signing would be any left-footed centre back. I think. Any left-footed centre back, who fits the
any
profile.
any name you want to say, अगर कल साइन हो गया तो हम आपको इंस्टाग्राम पे पक्की तरह इस तरह से आपको वो करेंगे हाईलाइट करेंगे कि सिम्पसन से ज्यादा अमृता भाई को पता है.
I think Levi Colville, if we can do it, I think that sounds very funny. But Colville,
इंटरेस्टिंग वेरी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग एक्चुअली. पार्थ भाई आपके चेहरे पे एक वाइट स्माइल है. व्हाट्स द आप बताओ. कोई बोल रहा है हिंकापी. इवन आई होप हिंकापी आ जाए हीरो में.
Yeah, I feel anybody out of Hinkapi or चलो कुछ नहीं, लेट्स गेट लुकास हर्नांडेज. वो थोड़ा आउट ऑफ दिस वर्ल्ड है, बट अगर हिनकैपी हुआ I'd be happy. हिनकैपी और गुहेई, one of the two.
yeah, he is, I think, a bit difficult because itne bids reject हुए from Newcastle side. Like 65 million is a lot of money.
Makes sense.
I mean, come on, you're not signing Virgil van Dijk.
Yes, we can see your other messages. I think we have got 2 or 3 messages if I'm not wrong. But yeah, that is it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you to everyone who joined in. Please like this video, share this video. किसी और के लिए नहीं तो अमृता भाई की Chiesa fandom के लिए, मेरे Chiesa fandom के लिए, पार्थ भाई की Chiesa fandom के लिए. Please do subscribe to the Indie Football Podcast. Me and Doipan, we will try a lot every day to put out great content, to ask our team to put out great content. Everyone in our team does a lot. And we are really thankful for everyone who's in our watch along community. अगर आपको join करना है, please do DM us on Instagram. And do keep following us. Do keep telling us what we can do, how we can improve, how we can, do better. And we'll try to bring in the best guests on the podcast. We'll try to make this the best podcast there ever can be. Thank you, guys. Thank you for tuning in, Amartya bhai. Thank you for joining in, Parthe bhai.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
It's been a pleasure, guys. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.